and welcome to the live training today. Get more referrals, reviews, and revenue with MailChimp. We'll get started in just a minute. I'd love to know where you're dialing in from. I'm in the South Island of New Zealand in a little town called Wanaka. But yeah, you can use the webinar chat to let me know where you're dialing in from. And also if you've got any issues or anything like that, let me know in there and we'll do our best to get you sorted out. The session is being recorded. And so we'll send that out afterwards. So don't worry about that. We'll send out the full recording and all the resources in an email afterwards. So yeah, I'd love to know where you're dialing in from. Use the webinar chat to do that. This is the second session in a three-part series. We covered referrals last week. If you registered for that session, you'll have had that recording. And it's on our YouTube channel. If you didn't register for that, you'll find the recording from last week there, and also all the resources will be shared from that session as well. All right, cool. I'll just give people a little bit more time to log on, and then we'll get started. Hi, John in Brisbane. How are you doing? All right, cool. Okay, so let's jump into the session today. I'm going to keep this nice and short. It's all about being really practical for you. So we're looking at reviews today. So we looked at referrals last week. If you're at that session, it's going to be quite similar what we're going to do today, but with just a slightly different focus on the goal. A little bit about myself. My name is Matt Wilkinson. I'm the founder of Biz Inc. Also the CEO. I've worked with a lot of firms, probably over 2,000 over the last sort of 15 years. So this session is based on my experience of doing that. A little picture of me climbing mountains, which I used to do for fun before I had kids. That's put a bit of a blocker on that. Hey, Maylene, how you doing? Out in Perth. Bala in Melbourne, how you doing? So we've got a strong Australian representation today. Just going to do a very quick poll about MailChimp before we get started. So that's what we're going to be showing, how to do these campaigns in there. So I'm just going to launch this poll and let me know what your experience level is with MailChimp. So that's what I'm going to be showing you how to do this campaign in. Now, if you're using another platform, using BizInc email or another email marketing platform, look, these things will work. They're going to work in any email platform. But that's what I'm going to be showing you today. So just give everyone a bit of a chance to fill that in. All right, cool. Let's send that. So bit of a mix of experience levels, which is fine. I think this is something that will be an easy campaign if you're new to MailChimp or even email marketing. But likewise, if you're experienced, it's still going to work. And it's funny, I was talking to a high growth firm in Auckland, New Zealand today, and they're not doing some of this basic email marketing. So I think that even if you're an advanced user, I find that a lot of accountants and bookkeepers aren't doing this stuff. Okay, right, let's get into the session today. So why online reviews? So that's what we're going to be talking about today is getting online reviews. And I think online reviews work right across the marketing funnel. So look, a simple way to look at them, I guess, is like word of mouth at scale, and word of mouth being the primary way that most accounting and bookkeeping firms get leads. Then to be able to do that at scale, I think is highly valuable. So tofu to bofu, what does that mean? That's just some marketing jargon for top of funnel to bottom of funnel. There's mofu as well, if you want to get into that, which is middle of funnel. And I think that online reviews can work right across that. So if you think like the traditional marketing funnel with leads coming in at the top, what online reviews can do for that, they can help with your search engine ranking, they can help you get found and put people into the funnel. As people are sort of moving down your funnel and learning more about your firm, I think they can help in that lead nurturing process and build trust. When you're getting down to that bottom of the funnel where you're getting deals and you're trying to close them and turn them into clients, I think they're really helpful. That social proof can really help you close deals. outside of marketing, I think it will help you attract good candidates. So I've heard this come up, firms that, trying to find good people. It's a challenge that most people are finding. If you've got lots of good online reviews that speak of how good your firm is, I think that helps in there. Um, and I think just generally like improves your digital footprint, right? Is that you've got a website, you've got social media profiles, you want all those things to be good. And I think that online reviews is just another piece in that jigsaw. So it's just a valuable thing to invest in. And when I say invest, like the actual cost to do this stuff, it's basically nothing. There's a bit of time investment, but as you'll see with this campaign, it's really straightforward. Now, example I've got on screen, Cirrus Payroll is a client of BizInc's based in Tulsa, Oklahoma in the States. They've got loads of five-star reviews, like I said, 237 five-star reviews. And the way they've got them is just asking for referrals, because if you don't ask for stuff, you don't get it. We talked about that last week with the referrals piece. So I'm interested. I'm going to just throw up another quick poll. Let me just pull that up. So I'll just go to the other poll. And interested to know, I'll launch this one. If you're asking clients for online reviews, don't be shy. In my experience, most people don't ask. They just hope that they're going to come in. So yeah, regularly, occasionally, or never are the options there. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. I'm going to show you how to ask. But let's see what the kind of breakdown is in terms of what people are doing. And the firm owner, Tyler of Cirrus Payroll, told me that like he sends 3 emails. So he has a system where he'll, after each engagement with the client, he'll send 3 emails, and it's usually on the 3rd email that people actually write their review. So I think that having that system, being habitual with it, and being persistent is the way to get these things to happen. So I'm just going to show the results there. So half people are never asking, few occasionally, and one person is regularly doing that. So let's have a look at how we can go about doing that. So I'm just gonna go on and just show you before I get into the actual how. I just want to show you like in real life why it's important to have online reviews. So we're looking at Google, and I'll show you why that's probably the most important place in just a second. But I just Googled payroll Tulsa, and it's funny actually, since I last did a webinar using that as the example, it was 237, and now I've got 266 5-star reviews, so even better. Now, you can see that it's quite a competitive space, payroll in Tulsa. That one's pretty good. They got 77 5-star reviews, but like they're way out in the front, 3 times more 5-star reviews than their nearest competitor. So I think that in a competitive environment like that, you can see it's giving people a reason to choose you, or at least be the first to call over other firms. And so I did another one. So I Googled accountants Wanaka. That's the little town that I live in New Zealand. And so you can see, basically we've got a few firms who've got reviews there. Firm with the most reviews, actually my accounting firm, so I was pleased to see that. I mean, they're the only one who's got that actual text-based review there, where someone's actually said something, and we're gonna look at how we get more of those when we do the campaign in just a second. And just to highlight that you can see those 2 bits there. Just to highlight like something else is like if you look at, you can compare this with, so that's another local firm. They've been around for a long time. They've got no reviews, right? Like I think it's a good firm. I couldn't speak for that, but my impression is they are. But no reviews compared to those other firms. If we go back, that do, it kind of looks weird, right? That's how I see it. So that first impression is bad. And then you compare that with like, Findex, that's a national firm in New Zealand, and BDO is obviously like an international firm. They have no reviews. So rightly or wrongly, that they might be great firms. who knows? But on that first impression, I just think it looks bad. So I think that's one of the reasons to do it. Just quickly, you can see here that Google and Facebook are where 91% of online reviews are written. And that's where we're going to focus our efforts today, mainly on Google. I suggest that Google is where, I mean, this is across all industries, that with accounting and bookkeeping profession, I think that Google is the main place, right? But we'll do a Facebook one as well. So if we're looking at waiting for reviews, just hoping clients are going to give you reviews, I look at that as like that's hoping, right? But asking for reviews, that turns it into marketing. It's a system that's like repeatable, scalable, and measurable. So let's have a look at how we actually do that in MailChimp. So I'll jump in here, and I've got a campaign here. So you can see the campaigns from last week. Very similar to that. We're just going to create an email campaign. And who are we going to send this to? So I think that, if you were starting off, you'd want to maybe send this to all of your clients. In New Zealand, it's the end of financial year this weekend. So it could be a good one to do, the start of the financial year, maybe the end of the financial year. Australia, obviously, that's going to be coming up in June. But this could be something that you did quarterly, or also something you could use this template to do it after each job. So maybe a job finishes and you email out the client, could be an automation, to ask them to do that review. Because I think persistence is what pays here. So I've got it scheduled to go to all contacts, is how I've done this one. And the subject line, would you give us a Google review? So I think asking for help is a powerful thing. People generally want to be helpful, so I think ask directly. It tells them exactly what's going to be in the email, and then the preview text, it takes under 2 minutes, which is true, right? Like, it's a really short thing to do, and you're making your ask, but you're setting the parameters that it's going to be really easy. Send time, I'm always going to say the same thing. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the best days to send on, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. If I were to pick it, I'd go with 10 a.m. That's generally what we've found to be a good time, and you could tweak that, but I think that you'd be pretty solid if you do it Tuesday to Thursday at 10 a.m. And the main part of this is obviously the content. So I'll just jump into that. And a very simple email. You want this to be, in my opinion, you want this to be almost like a plain text email. You don't want it to feel like marketing, so it needs to feel like a normal email. You don't want all your branding all over it. And so it's just a very direct email. So you thank them for being your accountant or your bookkeeper. You obviously can tweak this, and I'll be sharing the doc with you. In fact, I'll put it in the chat now, which has got this template in it, and it's got the ones from last week as well. So let me just drop that in the chat for everybody. There you go, and that template's in there. And so yeah, how it reads, like, Google has been important for us to grow. Take a couple of minutes time to leave a rating. Adding a couple of sentences would be an added bonus, and I think that does really help when people add it. They don't just give the rating. And then you link off to your Google listing. Hopefully you've got one. If you don't, maybe reply. I've got some resources I can help you with. Drop me a line and we can do that. And then we also give instructions on how to leave feedback. That's it. Now, I would probably follow this up. If it was me, I'd probably send it. Anyone who didn't open it, I'd probably send it again, and then maybe do a follow-up, like a short one, saying, hey, we sent you this Google thing. Is there any reason why you wouldn't review us? Let me know. Really appreciate it if you did. And those firms that I've been showing you with lots of reviews, they all have a system like this, that they ask for reviews, and that's how they get them. And then all those downstream benefits of that, reputational, getting found in search engines, they all flow from there. So that's it. It's a really simple campaign. It's in the doc that I've shared there. So this doc here. So now we've got in here the referrals ones from last week. the reviews one. So we've got the Google review one. Now I said Facebook as well. It's basically the same one with Facebook in it with slightly different instructions. You'd link off to your Facebook page, but it's the same deal and the same way you would add that through MailChimp. So you can copy and paste these, but also if I jump back in here, we've got some free bonuses for you, which if you want us to add these to your MailChimp account, we're happy to do that. You just need to link your MailChimp to our MailChimp and Co account, which is like an agency thing. There's the form there, and we'll send that out in the email afterwards. But yeah, if you link your account to us, we'll add those templates and we'll also give you a free MailChimp audit, but we'll check you've got things set up right and get you firing in the best possible way with that. So do take that up if you want. With the final session next week of this live training is about getting more revenue from clients. So cross-selling, upselling, something that I find very few firms do that well with email, and it's such a simple thing to do. I think there's revenue there for any firm that's got more than a handful of clients. So we'll be doing that same time next week. You're already registered if you're at this session, so we'll send you all the reminder links. If you want to chat about marketing, then there is a link there. And I'm going to stay around for questions now. Just going to launch a very quick poll. If you want to find out more about our MailChimp services, which we now offer, which are pretty new, let me know there. But otherwise, has anyone got any questions? Other thing as well, if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, I'm making a bit of a drive to connect to as many people as I can on LinkedIn, and I post a lot of content like this. There's my LinkedIn link. Feel free to connect with me. I'd love to do that. But yeah, let me know any questions you've got about this or anything else related to MailChimp or email marketing. Happy to do that. Hopefully it's a very simple campaign and you haven't got any questions. You know, I think that you could use that in MailChimp. You could use it as a one-on-one email. But if you really want to boost up your Google or Facebook reviews, you're going to have to ask, and that's a great way to do it. So I'm not seeing any questions come in. I will be sending out, one question from Georgia. We will be sending out a recording. We'll do that. It might end up being next week because we've got Easter here, so we've got a couple of public holidays. I'm sure some of you listening do as well. So it'll be next week, but we will send out that recording and we'll send out the resources and the form if you want us to link to your MailChimp and add these templates for you and do a bit of an audit. That will be there as well. So I'm not seeing any more questions in. I hope you found that useful today. We're trying to keep these really short, 15-minute live trainings as a bit of a different format to our kind of webinars that we've done in the past. So I hope you're enjoying those. But yeah, I'll wrap up there. If you've got the Easter break coming up, have a lovely bit of a time off. Thanks, John. Thanks for coming along. Yeah, and we'll get that recording and the resources out. Yeah, it's going to be very likely to be probably Tuesday next week. So have a great weekend, and I'll be back next week for the final session about selling more to clients. Thanks for coming.